I never wanted to hurt anyone. I never wanted to be the guy pinned to the ground by 3 officers, my face pressed into the dirt, while my little sister screamed my name from the porch. But that's how it happened. And all I could think while that cop cuffed me like some animal was, "You weren't there. You didn't see what he did to her." My name is Aiden. I'm 17, just a few months away from graduation. I was never a troublemaker, never even got detention. I live with my mum and my little sister Lily. She's 10. Sweetest kid you've ever met, always drawing on the walls with washable markers, always hugging our cat too tight, always asking me if she could marry me when she grew up. She was my entire world. Our dad left years ago. No one misses him. Mum works double shifts at the hospital, so I've been the one raising Lily since I was 13, making her lunch, helping with homework, tucking her in every night. She calls me big bro/part-time dad. I guess it stuck. I'd do anything for her. I didn't know how far that anything would go until he moved in. His name was Rick. At first he seemed normal. Mum met him at some nurse mixer. He was charming, had a good job, and for the first time in years, she seemed happy. She invited him over for dinner. I was polite. Lily was shy. He brought her a stuffed animal. I remember thinking maybe this won't be so bad. It didn't take long for things to change. At first it was subtle. Rick started calling me kid instead of Aiden, told me to man up when I didn't finish all the food on my plate, laughed when I helped Lily braid her doll's hair. Then it got worse. He moved in after 3 months. I told Mum it was too soon. She said I was being dramatic. She was in love, blindly. A few nights later, I came home from track practice and found Lily sitting alone in the dark. No TV, no music, just silence. She looked scared. I asked her what happened. She said Rick got mad because she spilled juice on the carpet. He yelled at her, like, really yelled. I asked if he hit her. She didn't answer, just stared at her lap. The next morning, she had a faint bruise on her arm. I lost it. I stormed into the kitchen and confronted him. He just laughed in my face. "You calling me a child abuser, tough guy?" he said, stepping into my space. "Maybe next time teach your brat some manners." I tried to push past him. He blocked me with his arm and whispered, "Say one more word, and I'll make sure you're the one who ends up in a cell." Mom walked in just then. Rick turned and gave her that fake smile, like he hadn't just threatened me. I tried to tell her what he said, what he did, but she didn't want to hear it. She said I was making it up, said Rick was trying hard to bond with Lily and I was being territorial. That night I sat outside Lily's door like a guard dog. I didn't sleep. The next week things escalated. I started noticing little signs, Lily flinching when Rick raised his voice, hiding her drawings, getting quieter and quieter. One day she came home from school and locked herself in the bathroom. I picked the lock and found her crying in the tub with her clothes on. I begged her to tell me what happened. All she said was, "He came into my room last night. He touched my shoulder and said not to tell you." That was it. I couldn't breathe. My chest tightened, my vision blurred. Something inside me snapped. I went to Mum again. I told her everything. Lily sat there silently, holding my hand. Mum cried, not because she believed us, but because she didn't want it to be true. And Rick, he flipped the script, said Lily was confused, said I was putting ideas in her head, said maybe I was jealous. He was good at lying. Too good. By the end of the night, Mom asked me to leave the house for everyone's safety. That's when I realized I was alone in this. No one was going to protect Lily except me. So I waited. I waited until Mom's next night shift. I knew Rick would be home alone with Lily. I knew where he kept his spare phone. I had bought a voice recorder. I was going to catch him. I wasn't going to fight him. I wasn't going to lay a hand on him. Just get proof. Save her. But when I walked in through the back door, I heard her crying. I dropped the recorder. I ran. Rick was standing at the bottom of the stairs. Lily was halfway up, trembling, tears running down her cheeks. He saw me, smiled. "Look who finally grew a pair," he said. Then he reached for her. I didn't think, I just reacted. I tackled him. It wasn't clean or cinematic. We slammed into the floor. He punched me in the ribs. I grabbed the nearest thing, a metal lamp, and hit him. Hard. Blood sprayed onto the wall. He groaned, rolled over. I grabbed Lily and dragged her outside. I told her to run to Mrs. Geller's next door. She ran. By the time I turned around, Rick was crawling out the back door, mumbling something. That's when the neighbors called the cops. They came fast, guns drawn. I dropped the lamp, raised my hands, told them he hurt my sister. They didn't care. They told me to get on the ground. I did. And while they pinned me down, one of them said it. What kind of monster beats a man half to death in front of a child? And I thought, the kind of monster who loves his sister more than his own life. They took me away in cuffs. Not even a jacket over my shoulders. I remember the cold, not just on my skin, in my bones. In my soul. Lily was standing on the sidewalk barefoot, sobbing, begging them not to take me. One of the cops told her to go inside. She didn't. She just kept yelling. He was protecting me. He was protecting me. No one listened. The holding cell was small, grey, and smelled like piss. They threw me in without asking questions. My knuckles were still bleeding. My ribs throbbed from where Rick punched me. I sat on the bench, head in my hands, heart pounding. What if they charged me? What if Rick told them I attacked him for no reason? What if they took Lily away? The door opened. A detective walked in, tall with a trimmed beard and dead eyes. He sat across from me and slid a recorder onto the table. He didn't say hello. Just hit record. Name: Aiden, Aiden Clark. Date of birth. I answered everything, calmly, even though my throat was dry and I wanted to scream. Then he said, "Tell me what happened tonight, from your perspective." So I did. I told him everything. From the first time Rick raised his voice, to the bruise on Lily's arm, to the night she cried in the tub. I told him about the whispers, the touching, the fear in her eyes. He didn't react, didn't nod, didn't blink. When I told him about the recorder, how I went in to get proof, he raised an eyebrow. "Where is it now?" I dropped it. I don't know if it was recording. I heard her crying. I lost it. He leaned back in his chair. "You attacked an unarmed man with a lamp. He was going to hurt her. Did you see him touch her?" I hesitated. That split-second pause. It was all he needed. He clicked the recorder off. "Until you have hard evidence," he said, "this is just your word against his, and right now your word is the one with a bloodied lamp attached to it." They let me call Mom. She answered finally at 3:27 a.m. She sounded tired, drained, hollow. I told her I was in holding, that I did what I did because Rick was hurting Lily, that I was sorry, but I had to stop him. She didn't respond for a few seconds, then she whispered, "You could have ruined everything." I couldn't even speak. Everything? What was everything? Her relationship, her job, her fragile illusion? I asked if Lily was okay. "She's asleep," she said. Rick's at the hospital, concussion, broken nose. I hung up. They kept me for 36 hours. No lawyer, no blanket, a carton of milk and 2 slices of cold bread. Eventually they let me go. Pending investigation, they said. Stay away from the house, they added. I didn't care. I had only one goal. Get Lily away from him. I went to my best friend, Jonah. His parents were out of town. He let me crash in the basement. I looked like hell. Eyes sunken, voice hoarse, but I didn't sleep. I spent all night digging, researching, reading, how to get social services involved, how to report suspected abuse, what kind of evidence would actually matter. Lily's word wasn't enough, mine wasn't either. I needed real proof. Then I remembered Lily's drawings. She always drew everything. Maybe there was something in them. I texted her the next day from a prepaid phone. Lily, are you okay? It's me. I'm safe, I promise. I'm going to fix this. I love you. No answer. Next day I tried again. Still nothing. On the 3rd day she replied. He took my sketchbook and my markers. He locked my door at night. I miss you. My heart shattered. I needed help. So I went to the one adult I thought might actually listen. Miss Parker, our old school counselor. She'd always been kind, quiet but sharp. I told her everything, showed her pictures of Lily's bruises I'd taken weeks before. I even played her Lily's last voice memo. From before the incident, a scared little whisper saying, "Please come home. He's being weird again." Miss Parker sat with her hands folded, listening to every word. When I finished, she said, "I believe you, and more importantly, I believe Lily." I nearly broke down right there. She made calls, real ones. To CPS, to the police department, to a friend in family court. For the first time in weeks, someone was actually doing something. That night, I got a text from Lily. He yelled at Mum. She cried. He slammed the door and went to the bar. "Mum's sleeping now. I'm scared." I called Jonah. We rode our bikes in the dark, cutting through alleys and back streets like ghosts. I climbed the fence into my own backyard. Waited. Watched. No Rick. Lily opened the window quietly. She had a backpack. She climbed out. I caught her mid-jump like she was 5 again. She held on to me for a full minute, just breathing, crying into my hoodie. We got out fast. By sunrise, she was safe in Jonah's house, curled up on the couch with a stuffed bear and Coco. The investigation started the next morning. Miss Parker had pulled strings. They questioned Rick. They reviewed my injuries. The old bruises on Lily. Her statement, my statement. Even the sketchbook she had hidden 1 page in a box of cereal. It showed a stick figure with black eyes standing over a little girl crying in bed. It was haunting, but it was real. It wasn't enough to lock him up, but it was enough to get Lily out. Child Services placed her in emergency foster care pending full custody review. Mum tried to fight it, but her name was on too many reports, ignored too many signs. I was 17, almost legal. They let me stay with my uncle across town. I haven't seen Rick since. He vanished after the first court hearing. Probably ran. Coward. Mum still calls sometimes. Says she misses us. Says she made a mistake. I don't always answer. It's hard to forgive someone who looked away when you needed them most. Lily lives with me now. It's been 6 months. I got my diploma, working part-time at a grocery store while applying for scholarships. She's in therapy. Smiles more, draws again. Sometimes she has nightmares. But when she wakes up crying, I'm right there. holding her hand, telling her it's over. Because it is. Because I made sure of it. Even if the whole world thought I was a monster,